Welcome back. In this video, let's take a look at the expand function in Microsoft Excel. The expand function is used to increase the size of an array to a specified number of rows and columns. For example, in your Excel worksheet, you have an array which has 5 rows and 5 columns, but there are other many arrays which have a different size, say for example 10 rows and 10 columns, and you want to increase the size of the initial array to match the size of all other arrays. In this case, you will use the expand function. Let's dive into Microsoft Excel and look how we can use this function. So here I am in Microsoft Excel. I have an initial array here which has 3 rows and 3 columns. I want to expand it so that it contains 6 columns and 12 rows. In this case, I will simply use the expand function. Input the array here. Array is B7 through D9, comma, number of rows. I want 12 rows in my array, so I will input 12 here. Also, I want 6 columns in my array, so 6 for columns. And I want to pad these extra rows and columns with NA so that I know that these values are not available. I will close the parenthesis, hit enter, and these values are spilled here. NA values are spilled across this array. So the result here is an extended array which has 12 rows and 6 columns. Now let's talk a little bit more about the syntax of the expand function. As you can see, the expand function has 4 arguments. The first argument is the array. This is a source array which you want to expand. Then the next argument is the rows. Rows is the number of rows you want in your resultant array. For example, if your source array has 5 rows and you want 10 rows in your resultant array, in that case you will input 10 here. The rows argument is optional, but in case you ignore this argument, in that case you have to mandatorily input the columns argument. Then the next argument for the expand function is columns. Columns is the number of columns you want in your resultant array. If your source array has 5 columns and you want 6 columns in your resultant array, you will input 6 here. Columns argument is also optional, but in that case you have to mandatorily input some value for the rows argument. Both these rows and columns arguments cannot be left blank. You have to input some value for one of these arguments, only then the expand function will work. The next argument is also optional argument. This is the pad with argument. Pad with means a value which you want in your extended array in the extra rows and columns. For example, if you want a text value, you can put that value in double quotes and that value will be displayed in the extra rows and columns. Or if it is a number, in that case you have to just input the number without quotes. That value will be displayed in the extra rows and columns. So that's about the expand function in Microsoft Excel. Now finally let us talk about a few of the errors you might encounter when using the expand function. The first error is the value error. It occurs when the value used for rows or columns arguments is less than the total number of rows or columns of the source array. Then the next error is the NA error. It appears in padded cells if the pad with argument is not set. The third is the name error. Name error occurs if either the function's name is misspelled or expand is not available in your Excel version. And finally, there is the spill error. The spill error occurs when there are not enough empty cells to output the expanded array. In most situations, clearing the obstructing cells fixes the error at once. So that was all about the expand function in Microsoft Excel. When would you use this function? Let me know in comments. And as usual, I hope this video was helpful. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Keep supporting, subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.